And this is Lichess Plays, Daylight Savings version. Okay. I think we're all good. Let's get this started. 74 challenges. Love to see it. Andre, you were actually specifically asking to play. So you got your wish in the very first game. The algorithm chose you. Let's do it. Hello to our viewers on both Twitch and YouTube. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Always a pleasure. Let's be ambitious here. Let's play e4 against the QGA. Hello, John Stevenson. Also, Basid. Hello, Elijah. Diffuser, I see you. Okay, knight here. I think I'm supposed to go here in this position. Knight f3 or bishop takes c4 or even f4. Can't remember. I'm just going to play knight f3. You're going to destroy me if I play you? We shall see. You never know. Some of you guys are tough. Some of you are surprising. All right, just looking to recover the pawn. We've been getting some really good numbers for recent Lichess plays, especially in terms of the challenges. A ton of you challenging. It's great to see. So I fully expect some tough games today. I wonder if Black's going to go here, try to trade queens. You haven't seen K Buckby in a while. What happened? Yeah, that's a great point. Haven't seen any of the Buckby clan in a while. I hope they're doing okay. Excellent point, though. It's probably been a few months at least. Hello, Lopare, one of our faithful mods. Greetings, greetings. I don't know about you guys if you're in the US or Canada. We had daylight savings today. I feel like I've been super productive today already. I kind of forgot about it and then woke up and then had an extra hour basically. So I even streamed on my own channel. I went to like a 1-hour fitness class, came back, did all my prep for this stream. I was watching the Global Chess Championships for a while. I feel I've already had a productive day, and we didn't even get started with Lichess plays yet. All right, let's take. Daylight savings is weird, isn't it? I would be curious what you guys think about it. I personally just wish they would do away with it entirely. I get the arguments for it, especially literally in terms of the daylight hours. Particularly in cold weather countries. Yeah, and this is checkmate supported by the bishop. Thank you, Andre, for the game. So this line that you played with knight c6, I think doesn't have the best reputation. Usually black goes e5 here or knight f6. Those are the two most reliable moves. Knight f6, e5, knight d5. So, yeah, unfortunately, you chose the move that led to immediate disaster here, but I can see why you made that mistake. As I reiterate every stream, you got to watch the long-range diagonal moves. You got to watch them pretty clearly there. You forgot about the bishop or didn't realize the bishop was now covering f8. Okay, thanks for the game. All right, Geneza. This is our third game. Geneza 12. Okay, good luck. e4. Oh, all right. Scandinavian. Love to see it. Okay, let's take. I'll play the main line, knight c3. It gets so dark in the mornings, though. It's painful. Yeah, I hear you. Trust me, I hear you. Queen d6 Scandi sighting. Pretty interesting line. I'm going to go for a kingside fianchetto against this. Bishop g2. Let's castle here. I'll play it kind of modestly, d3. I don't think this is like a legit try for an advantage for me. But should be interesting. Let's go a3 and then try for b4, b5. Like I have a bit of a hook I can work with, perhaps. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe h3 first. I might want to induce this move. b4. I'm fully expecting black to go here, so I think I might want to be Johnny on the spot to play g4 here. To play pawn g4, specifically in this position. And let's see how aggressive Geneza wants to be. Does Geneza want to sack on g4? Would be interesting. Declines to do it. Yeah, knight takes, I don't know, could have put me in an awkward pin, so I'll be curious what the computer says about that. Now I can go ahead and take d4. I think I will. Let's go make this capture. And in this position, move the knight or queen f3. Queen f3 takes feels a little bluffy to me. I'm not sure this is actually a good sacrifice. So let's simply play knight e2. I do like this bishop now. This unimpeded bishop. This coming into the picture, maybe. This feels pretty good. Let's play g5. I guess I'd expect knight d5 in this position. Johnny on the spot. What does it mean? Just means like you're the person up to do the task. Johnny on the spot. Your number gets called. You're ready to go, whatever it may be. My predictions for CGC finals. Well, I already saw a few of the games, so it seems to be trending pretty heavily in one direction. I don't know if I want to spoil it for someone in case they're watching this but haven't had the chance to tune in to the CGC tournament. But suffice it to say, it's fairly one-sided at the moment. Okay, take here. There is queen back to f7. Okay, I'll go this way. Play a4, look for b5 maybe. Might not even take back, although I probably... Yeah, I guess I probably should hit the rook. Hello, Harry Chess, by the way. Also, Alpha Red. Just getting caught up on some of these messages. Great to see you all. Okay, I'll play queen d2. I think Janez is hanging in there just fine. This position is still complicated. If I get paired with you, should I mute so I don't hear your strategy? Asks Ready to Cube. Great question. You know, it's fully up to you. There is a delay, probably of about 10 to 15 seconds, depending upon what platform you're watching on. I would personally recommend, of course, that you mute the stream for maximum instructional value. But I won't hold it against you if you want to listen to my commentary as you play. I might throw some curveballs at you, though. I might try to trap you. Okay, thanks, Janessa. Yeah, again, you were doing fine up until pretty much your last move of the game, rook f8. Let's check the eval here. I kind of feel like in this position, I may be getting the better of it. Looks pretty good for white here. But no, actually, that's a completely wrong assessment. That is an optimistic assessment by me. The computer just says, absolutely not, John. You're worse here. Rook he8. I thought with this idea and the slight overloading of the queen that might be possible, then there could be some problems. But, I mean, the computer is so cool, calm, and collected. It says counterattack the knight, and black has nothing to worry about. So, no, I think pretty good queen d6 Scandi by you. And for me, yeah, I should have taken on d4. Lots of improvements, probably. But I think you played well. Queen d6 Scandi. One of the high-quality responses here. Most complicated, in my opinion, of the various queen retreats, queen moves. But also one of the best ones. Thanks for the game. All right. Ooh, we're up to 93 challenges. Amazing. Can we get over 100? Spicy Squid. Good luck to you. Can we get over 100? I remember when Lichess Plays started, there were a few streams, like right at the beginning, where we had over 100 challenges at any given time. And I think since then, we've mostly been in like the 50 to 100 range. But they're trending back up again. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in, challenging every week, and hanging out. Bent asks, hello, John. Is there a chance that you'll be publishing a Scandinavian Defense LTR lifetime repertoire on Chessable in the future? There's definitely a chance. I have a lot of material for it. I did pause that project because a few lines were tough to solve. That was almost 2 years ago now, so I definitely have to revisit a lot of the material. I think I have some solutions to lines that were previously tripping me up. But also, just the reality of it, writing those lifetime repertoires is a massive undertaking. And I have to carefully dedicate my time to certain projects I get involved in chess because I don't have a lot of time. I really try to maximize like what I'm doing on a daily basis. Ooh, and this allows e5. So I like making those courses when I have a good roadmap. And of course, the Scandinavian defense is near and dear to me. So long story short, don't rule it out. It might happen. But I need to plan out the time. Wait until your potential GM title. You don't want to give your opponent an edge. That's a classic thing, actually, for authors of books or now increasingly courses. the classic thing is like, as soon as you publish a book or something, substantial about a certain opening, you have to immediately stop playing it because you just revealed all your secrets. To put your name on a lifetime repertoire is a risk. Yeah, that's another consideration. Okay, here I'm going to play an in-between move. This comes with check. Black really can't go there because the rook would be under attack. And now I think I'm going to take here because I wouldn't fear this, trying to undefend the bishop, because I can go bishop c4 check. So could maybe... Now, if I had played it on the previous move, there's queen d5. Yeah, so this is a good attempt by black to try to remove the defender, but it is going to run into this. I would love an updated version of the free 1d4 chessable rep. Hello, Daxipoo. Yeah, that's another thing I'm thinking about. I agree. I think it might be a good idea for me to somewhat update and expand that repertoire, possibly with a video component, because I think that is one of the most well-received, especially free courses on Chessable, which I'm really happy about. I have several free courses on there, and they're kind of like Lichess studies in a way. Like you guys should definitely take advantage of the Lichess study tool and all of the publicly available stuff. I like making that sort of content. But yeah, I might expand it. Richard says, something strange going on. When connecting to your stream on Lichess, you get connected to the YouTube channel instead of Twitch. Interesting. So yeah, I know it can go to both because Lichess does support streamers who are on either platform. So maybe they're just mixing it up. Shout out to the Lichess mods, by the way. We already had Lopari in the chat. Shout out to No Joke Chess as well, if you're in there. Chessable has ruined chess. Now every 1,500 pots are on Lichess plays like a 2,700 GM in the first 5 moves. Well, if you're worried about the first 5 moves, you might have some bigger things to address in your game, Agroshim. But I know what you mean. Hello, Dave B says, hi, John. Been preparing for my first OTB tournament by watching your endgame videos today. Oh, love it. Hey, let me know if you have any questions. Love to hear that, man. Good luck. Okay. I think I can take here, right? King takes bishop d5. Skewer win the rook. Spicy Squid is on the run here. They're fighting no. Okay. Let's pull this back. Maybe there's a faster way to win this, but just protecting my gains here. Okay. Thank you, Spicy Squid, for the game. So, do you guys know what this opening is? This is a real common one. It's the Marshall defense. You can check an opening name here on Lichess by going all the way down, looking in the PGN, or if you pop open the database, it's another way to do it. So, interesting fact. Okay, so, I teach chess for a living. Teaching is my main gig in the chess world. I can't tell you how many of my students in, let's call it like the 1,300. Now, I shouldn't even set a rating floor. Let's say like the 900 even on Lichess to all the way up to like 1,800. I know that's a pretty big range. Let's call it a 900 to 1,000 point range. I can't tell you how many of my students who play D4 in the Queen's Gambit get this line. And this line is known to just be kind of bad for black. And it's because black is trying to defend the center with a piece rather than a pawn. Okay, so if you're going to decline the Queen's Gambit, you're not going to take the Queen's Gambit pawn. C6 and E6 are the best moves, specifically so that you can actually recapture with one of the pawns. This may sound basic, but I've learned over the years in chess, you can't take any seemingly basic information for granted. There's always going to be people out there who maybe don't think about that sort of thing, or even good players like see moves and don't understand why they're being played. That is why declining the Queen's Gambit with C6 or E6 is the most popular thing to do. Now, there are lines like the Chigorin or the Baltic that are a little offbeat. They don't have the best reputation, a little offbeat where you can try to counterattack. But if you want to see the frequency with which masters play knight f6 versus amateurs, look at the Lichess database tool. I tell you guys this every week. This is a fantastic tool for you to use. Pretty much should be your go-to reference in the opening to get a bird's eye view of what's going on. So you can see at master level, this is the Masters database. These are games with 2,200 rated players or higher. Knight f6 only features in 172 of these games out of 177,000. So just a tiny, tiny percentage. And White's doing very well here. Yeah, 0.1% of games. Look at the Lichess database. Now, I don't think I filtered this database. You can filter it by rating and time control. Look at the Lichess database. It's number 4. It's number 4. What percentage is this? 14%. 14.4%. Oh, that doesn't show up for you guys. I'm hovering over this. It actually shows the percentage. It's probably just the way I'm capturing the screen, but enormous difference in popularity, relatively speaking. Okay, so if you play Queen's Gambit, you're going to face this a lot, and you don't want to play this from the other side for the simple reason that when the capture occurs, you're going to have to take back with a knight or a queen. Not good. And you're going to get pushed around in the center. All right. Tangent over. Let's go on to the next game. Neros. Good luck to you. You have the white pieces. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, I heard a huge thud outside, and it's really windy here today. I think it was my patio furniture like flying around. But everything looked to be secure, so crisis averted. Okay, I'm playing the Con Sicilian. Bishop e3, often a prelude to the English attack. Reasonable move. It works against a lot of Sicilian lines, but against the Con, it's not so good. This is the Sicilian Con. Someone was asking in the chat. Kan. We're going to go here, attack this pawn. Hello, pun intended. Greetings. John, favorite color? I would say green. I'm a fan of blue as well. I am drinking from a green mug right now. Yeah, so this is a typical issue that White runs into in the Con. The defense of the e4 pawn, if White's not careful, can be dodgy. And I'm winning here already. Knight takes c3 coming in. White's going to have trouble with this rook here. We got another question on YouTube. Hi, John. I feel like I can play 2 or 3 rapid games at full strength, and then I play much worse. Is it normal? Yes, I would say absolutely. What do you guys think is like the optimal time or session duration, let's say, to play online? So if you're going and playing a game or a series of games, how long do you think you can maintain maximum performance until it dips? Because I have my thoughts, but I'm curious what you guys think. Torque TV says 45 minutes. Andy Hap says 2 to 3 games if longer time controls. Jeremy says 60 to 90 minutes. Harry Chess says 45 seconds. 2 hours. Hikaru does it for 8 hours. Yes, that's incredible. Especially on Tuesdays. Like he'll play Title Tuesdays, one at 10 a.m. and then one at 4 p.m. Joe Bava can play 14 plus hours like a machine. Yeah, you know, I agree with a couple of these answers here. I think for most people, your peak performance is probably going to be at about an hour to an hour and a half playing online. Now, that's not to say that you have to cap it at that for the day, but you probably want to take a break. At least take somewhat of a break if you're going to play again that same day. I think anything beyond an hour and a half, you're getting fatigued, you know? Which is why classical chess and over-the-board tournaments is such a grind because, you know, you're going to be playing more than an hour to an hour and a half in a day, most likely. Becomes a test of stamina. But remember, with online chess, like you have the luxury of selecting when you play, what time control you play, who you're going to play. You know, you can decide if it's going to be an arena or a game that you're just seeking. And I think people should, in general, like make use of that more. They should think a little more closely about how they're going to best improve their performance. I have to be a little careful here, by the way. I think White's playing well. I've been unable to get e5 in. Could play rook d7 here, but it looks kind of ugly. I think I'm going to play it, though. Maybe reorganize like this and then do this. But your mileage will vary, and it is the sign of a strong player if they can maintain a decent level for quite a long time. No doubt about that. We talked about this on stream before too, but I definitely think exercising can improve your performance as well. And there's a window of time after you exercise where cognitive performance is at its peak, actually. So if you can time your workouts for before you're about to play some chess, and then get into it about a half hour later after you're done with the workout, that helps a lot. Okay, I should have taken that. Okay. Thank you, Neros, for the game. Yeah, you had some reasonable compensation. Yeah, but being up a piece and a pawn, I actually forgot I was up a piece in addition to the in addition to the pawn. The damage was done pretty early, wasn't it? I've had a lot of games in this line, so after knight f6, that go f3, and then black plays d5, threatening here. Typical trap being bishop d3, e5, get the knight to move, and then d4, winning a piece. Kind of goes to show why this whole bishop e3 variation against the Khan specifically doesn't really work so well. Black quickly attacks the center. Yeah, so I think actually relatively best in this position is to go f3, d5, and then take, which invites knight takes d5, but after knight e2, defending here, it's not so bad. I think white's only slightly worse. Thanks for the game. All right, Stone Speed Chess, 2047. You're up next. Let's play knight f3. Okay, I'll play g3, little fianchetto action. Strong players can sort of bang out good, not best moves without paying 100% attention for a long time. Absolutely. That's a great point. So if you're a master, you can maintain a decent level for quite a while, especially if you're playing lower rated opposition. That's why I can play these 2-hour Lichess plays, and I'm sorry, guys, seemingly not break a sweat sometimes. Because you don't have to work very hard once you reach a certain level in chess, unless you're playing players at your level. In that case, you might face a lot of tough decisions, and it might happen frequently. But I do remember what it was like to be lower rated to some degree, and I've also seen it in my students a lot. Like, I know for many of you guys who are, let's say, below 1600, almost every decision you make in a game, unless it's like the opening and you know the moves, is a tough decision. And that is a huge cognitive burden that adds up real quickly. It's like you're doing a high intensity workout or something, and you start with a very low weight, and you're like, oh, this should be easy. Like, I'm not going to get winded. And then you're sucking wind like 10 minutes later, wishing that the workout ends. The same thing happens with your brain when you're lower rated, because you're making tough decision after tough decision. Whereas the strong players, they've seen so many patterns, they've played so many games, they might only really have to think for 2-3 moves a game sometimes. Okay. A little bit of compensation for black here. I think I should be good at diffusing it if I'm careful. All right, all right. Rook d1, maybe? Let's play rook d1. Expecting queen c7. Whoa. Okay, very risky move here. I think that just loses the game. We'll take here. As if here, take. I'm going to take there. So I would actually bet that my opponent takes back, because the alternative loses a rook. Have to be very selective about those in-between moves. That was a classic in-between move Black was trying, looking for a counterattack. Thanks for the game. But ill-timed, right? And Black busted that move out right away. So Black's sense of danger let them down here. So use these moves sparingly where I attack you and you try to attack me in a counterattacking capacity, or you attack me and I try to attack you back. I would have to be concerned about that because I got to make sure that that flies. I think if you go queen c7 here, stone speed, you might be okay. I mean, some compensation. Yeah, about a half pawn of compensation. Reasonable for being down a pawn. Okay, thanks for the game. Who do we have next? Nature. This is our 8th game together. Greetings, Nature. What should I play? I feel like I played a lot of different things against Nature. Let's play Caro-Kann. Did you guys notice I took the pumpkin down? Very sad. I didn't want to confuse the audience. So, we're into November now. Almost a week past Halloween. I figured I better take it down. R.I.P. Pumpkin. Yeah. F's in the chat for the pumpkin. Don't worry. I'm going to get the tree out soon, though. There will be decorations. I will put my Christmas tree up. I know you guys have been asking about it. You missed the pumpkin? Okay, it'll be back at some point. Oh, hello, Richard. I see your comment on YouTube. No, I have not seen that video yet. I know you're going to keep asking me every week until I watch it. Just a reminder of the format. So I'm playing 2 hours of 3+0 Blitz against you guys today. It can be casual or rated, up to you. This is a casual game here. So if you want a chance at my rating, by all means, feel free to make it rated. That's fine. I am not going to hold it against you at all. And in fact, I welcome the challenge. I might be able to take like 1 point off you guys in a lot of cases. Also, there's no priority given to if you're like a Patreon or a subscriber on Lichess. We don't do that here. Every challenge is treated equally. You're just entered into a pool of players waiting to be paired. And I just have this accept random challenge button. So encourage everyone to challenge. Okay, knight d4. This feels kind of loose. I feel like I'm probably going to win a pawn out of this. Let's think about the best way to do it. I think I'm going to take here first. I didn't really calculate this in-between move, but I don't think I have to be concerned about it. Yeah, and now I'm going to take. And when this capture happens, I'll take here. Should be a pretty clean pawn. My king is still in the center, so I have to be aware of that. But I don't see any checks or any way nature can really punish me down the file per se. There is like knight f5 coming in. Ooh, maybe knight f5 is the issue. Okay, so perhaps I have to be a little careful on this move. Maybe this. Maybe this one. Yeah, because if I move the knight, knight f5 was looking a little awkward. Perhaps I could have covered that, but I was a little concerned about like the d6 square and also g7. I'm really not sure, though. I think if nature finds like a decent move here, they might get some compensation out of this. I have a few ideas, but I'm not sure. Yeah, b3 I think is just too slow. I think you got to try something like queen h5 here. Definitely strike before black castles, because now that I get to castle, I'm pretty happy. Get the king out of the line of fire. I be lagging on YouTube says, hi, I think sometimes I can play 90% accuracy. Does that mean I can beat you? It may mean if you played 90% in a game against me that we might have a competitive game. But it's going to depend a lot on the kind of texture of the game. Is it really tactical? Is it more strategic? But that's good. If you can hit 90%, especially regularly with any sort of regularity, you would be in good shape. Could you tell the openings for some of the games, if not all, while you were playing? Oh, can I tell like what opening I'm playing? Yeah, definitely. Um, sometimes I don't know the name of certain sub variations and whatnot, but for sure, you get to know quite a few lines. Okay, I think this might be a smart time just to play a move like this. Maybe I can do something else, but I like G6 here. Usually, if you're making Luft and you're trying to get your king up, it's good to play a move that gives you maximum flexibility, so that's what we're going to go for. When the king comes up here, it's defending both these pawns. I got to hustle a little bit. I am down on the clock. We're down on time. Mm-hmm. Tricky, tricky. Little bit tricky. I'm going to advance over here just a tad. See if we can induce some weakening stuff. I think nature's hanging in there, though. This is not so bad for nature. They're down a pawn, but fighting. Maybe h3 would have been better for me on the previous move. I don't know. Okay, now that feels a little too defensive. Yeah, you don't want that queen wedged over there. Okay, now I think I can trade. Should be a pretty easily winning endgame for me. And now just stretch the white defenses here. We can run both pawns. All right, thanks for the game, Nature. Yeah, you were hanging in there right towards the end. I think key moment kind of around here when queen c3, king g7 is played. Let's check the eval. Yeah, slight edge for black, but nothing too wild. I mean, less than 1 point. So given that you're down a pawn, that's not bad in a queen ending. Some of you might have been wondering like why nature didn't capture here. I was going to take back. So there's a bit of a standoff going on because I need to keep some pressure here so I don't straight up lose this pawn. And that's why I was playing moves like h5. Little tip, like if your opponent plays a move like h5 and they indicate that they're waiting, especially if they have the material advantage or something, it's often good just to play h4, stop them from advancing. I have a feeling, and especially seeing this eval now, this is probably a draw with best play for both sides. Because it's kind of awkward for me to do something productive with my next move. Like if I play queen f5, I guess the point is if takes here, I can go queen b1 and take. But that's a little hard to see, and it looks like white has resources against that. b4, kind of firm up all these pawns. So, okay, not bad, nature. Maybe watch that e5 pawn a little bit in these situations. That can get weak. Kind of as a result of advancing here, when you have your knight on c3 instead of the pawn, that can create some issues with the stability. Thanks for the game. Okay, Amit Nu. Or Amit Nu. Good luck to you, 1584. Okay, another e4 game. Played Sicilian. I played c6. I guess I'll play a Pirtz. Go knight f6. And after knight c3, I often play e5, but I was going to go for a fianchetto. White plays bishop d3 to defend the center. Let's fianchetto the bishop instead. All right. I'll play this in maybe somewhat creative style. Try to go knight c6, put some pressure on the center. Okay, retreats. Let's go here. Jeff on YouTube asks, "Hi, John. Would you think 10-minute games are long enough to improve for an advanced player?" For an advanced player, yeah, probably. I think it's a little on the fast side, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad if you're, I don't know, 1800 plus, let's say. Ooh, okay. This is another kind of in-between move. So white does not address the tension in the center. It might just be playable for white. but it looks a little dangerous to me because after takes and all these trades here, white's inviting discoveries. I could try to get fancy, but I think I'm going to take. We'll just go for that. Probably worth taking the dark square bishop. So, yeah, I don't have a good discovery here. If knight takes e4, I would lose the knight, so we'll just maneuver. Attack the queen. Maybe knight e5. I feel like Daniel Narditsky would know how to play this position really well for black. He's a King's Indian player. Kind of looks like a King's Indian. Let's go rook e8. How do I get started playing OTB chess? Great question. I would Google for the Chess Association in your city, country, wherever you may be. There should be some organizing body that will have that information online. Let's go here, maybe try for this. I have to be a little bit worried about this pawn, but I think the instability of b2 kind of makes up for it. I don't think I'm actually going to take on b2 here. Unless, there's rook b1 is the only thing I'm a little concerned about. So let's go here. If f4, I'll just come back. Yeah, sure thing, Stefan. I feel like I just had a glorified Google it type answer, but no, seriously, like in most countries, there's very accessible information online about the tournaments that are being organized in your area or clubs that meet regularly. Let's take this. There are some websites you can probably go to, like FIDE. The FIDE website might have some information too. But I would start by simply Googling your local association, local federation. Okay, I feel like this is worth preventing, so... now I'm not sure. Maybe here. Maybe just go to this square. And if queen here, king up to g7, and I do have both these defended. Feels a little shaky, but I think it's fine. I think John is reading the YouTube chat and ignoring us Twitch folk. It depends. I go back and forth. I have YouTube over here and Twitch over here. So I go back and forth. Okay, rook d1, probably d5. Just secure that pawn. Maybe look to play this on the next move. It would have been interesting to actually allow rook takes d6 because I think this would have trapped the queen. But I like d5. It's a useful move. How many hours do you devote to chess per day? Interesting question. Probably, I would say in the 3 to 5 range. That's hard to say, though. Because I don't really know what to count as, chess time. Like, is watching a tournament going on considered part of that? Could be upwards of, 4 to 6 or 7 of, real hardcore engaging chess time. Hello, West. Good to see you. All right. Just putting the finishing touches on this game. Trying to convert. Play b5. All right. Thank you for the game, Amit. So I think the h3 move is not the best. Probably doesn't hurt you strictly in terms of losing equality or something. But I think you should deal with the pawn tension here right away because this knight is a defender of d4. If you want to try to play for the bishop pair or something, probably d5 is the way to go. And then maybe eventually h3. Something along these lines with the center closed. You might say, doesn't that favor the knights? Well, in a lot of closed positions, the knights are going to be decent. But here, I'm going to have to break out at some point because I am a little bit cramped. And then the bishops may flex at some point. So, yeah, I kind of didn't like h3. The engine doesn't like it as well. It does point out some interesting ways to play knight g4. I don't think I considered that move at all. That is interesting. That's a play towards e takes d4 when the bishop is involved in the defense. So just pitch a knight entirely, like h takes g4, then take here. And here too, although white has material equality, the structure got a little wrecked. This bishop's pretty bad. I could see maybe some attacking potential coming in. The knight is great. So that move feels a little bit loose to me here, h3. Yeah, maybe f3 as well. Didn't like that one. Weakens the dark squares. So I have a dark square bishop. You probably don't want to put like so many pawns on light squares because that means the dark squares are going to be neglected. You want to fight back against my bishop a little bit. So probably at some point going for f4 would have been more challenging. You did play that later, but it was kind of in suboptimal circumstances. Okay, thanks for the game. Yerna, 69. Good luck to you, 1799. Adhering to the wisdom that I often discuss on Lichess plays about it's better to be a high rating level in a certain rating band, 1797, 1798, 1799, than like a low 1800, being like right over the hump at the next rating band up. This commands more respect, 1799 than like 1801, where you're limping across the finish line. All right, let's play a Schliemann. Any Schliemann players here against the Ruy Lopez? Hey, John, what is your favorite opening? Oh, it's not even a question. It's hashtag Team Scandi, the Scandinavian defense. I have multiple emotes on my channel dedicated to it. I do coach. Yep. I actually have a Lichess coaching profile if you want to go to my profile and see it. Hello, Antonius. Thank you very much for tuning in. Okay, now knight takes e5 is an idea. So in some ways, I'd like to maybe prove that I can do this, but I don't think it's worth it. Let's go here. Yeah, be very careful about crossing 2800. Be very careful. I mean, Magnus crossed that bridge a long time ago. He might regret it. He might have wished that he was staying in the high 2700s. This is like one of these things. I worry when saying something like that because it'll appear on Reddit at some point, and the question will be along the lines of, I've heard John and a couple other streamers say it's better to be like a high 1600 than a low 1700. Why is that? Can anyone explain? And then people will either troll them or someone will come along and be merciful and be like, yeah, that's a joke. All right, let's go here. Go for the pin. I feel like this is shaping up well. I think white isn't quite sure how to handle this, which is, it's hard against these two center pawns. Do I have e4? What do we think? Ooh, interesting calculation situation. e4, take. Queen check. Bishop here. And, you know, I'm going to go for it. I actually don't think this is the best move, but I am curious if white can prove why. It's a little test for my opponent. And then if he makes 2900, he'll be a low 2900 instead of a high 2800. I know, right? Just Magnus problems. Okay, h3 counterattack. All right, I think we take the knight now. I think white had to take here and throw this check in to get out of the pin. Then I was thinking about bishop e6, but then there was bishop c4. We'll see afterwards if that was the way. Now I'm thinking take here, right? Because we got a big old queen h2 mate threat. And if knight takes f3 to try to defend, rook takes f3. Slam through here. Ooh, okay. And now probably lots of winning moves, but this one looks easiest. Take. And we're going to crash through. This will be mate. Okay, thanks for the game, Erdna. Now, so when e4 is played, I think you have one narrow path to avoid losing a piece here. Yeah, d takes. Let's say I take here. Queen b3 check. You must get out of the pin. That's clearly what you were worried about, and that's why you played h3, which, made some sense, but it just didn't quite cut it tactically. And now, I think calculating this position would be good. If you saw bishop e6, even better. And if you saw bishop c4, really good. I think you're, doing your due diligence for those of you out there who calculated that. Because this is a attack, counterattack scenario. I'm hitting the white queen. If white move the queen again, I can just scoop the knight. So it's imperative that white try to create a counterattack of their own. And that's the only move that cuts it. Or makes the cut. I was thinking this might be interesting. But I don't know that I really have obvious compensation here. Probably I can get the pawn back, and that's about the extent of it. Okay, thanks for the game. So f5 on move 3, ambitious move. This used to be favored by Timur Rajabov. He was like the world's leading practitioner of this Schliemann or Jaenisch gambit. What does Lichess call it? Yeah, Schliemann. But you commonly see it referred to as Jaenisch as well. Pretty interesting line if you're looking for a counterattacking option against the Ruy Lopez. It's a lot better than the Latvian gambit, which is f5 in this position. This is pretty sketchy. Also, I think in the Italian game, I think this is pretty sketchy too. d4 is a good counterattacking move. But against the Ruy Lopez, you can get away with f5. All right, thanks for the game. Tournament dude, 2003. Okay, all right. You got the question mark next to your name, so you're a bit of an unknown quantity. Let's go d4. What are my thoughts on the Caro-Kann defense? Well, as we learned in late 2020, it's all pawns and no hope, right? No, Caro-Kann is fine. Caro-Kann's a highly respected opening. Unfortunately, in the Lichess auto analysis, it's recently been unkind to the Caro-Kann. You guys notice that? Like, it sometimes gives the Caro-Kann e4 c6 a dubious mark when you auto analyze. But I don't think you're going to find too many people who are going to say the Caro-Kann's a dubious opening. It's quite solid. Maybe biased says, I noticed that, all in caps. Good, good. It's been years by now, and I'm still trying to figure out what that line is supposed to actually mean. Oh, yeah. Yep. The all pawns, no hope line. I agree. Because if it was just about the pawns, they could have chosen far more pawn-based openings, right? Like the Caro-Kann, I wouldn't say is like especially noted for its pawn play. I feel like the Hippo maybe should have had that line associated with it in Queen's Gambit to really please the chess aficionados. Because in the Hippo, you're setting up all those pawns on the 6th rank, and you're like lying in the muck. You're waiting in the mud. Hey, John, can you play a check Pirtz? Yeah, I can try. I can try a check Pirtz. So check Pirtz, I always forget. It's like d6, knight f6, c6. I think that's what it is. Should I take there or... Yeah, I guess I shall. Nobody plays the French. Ooh, we got some French haters in the chat here. I mean, I'm kind of with you. I don't like the French for either color. I think the French has to be the most polarizing opening against e4. Maybe the most polarizing opening in chess. Is that fair to say? Of like mainstream openings? I'm not talking about obscure gambits. Who was it? Was it Lasker or was it Steinitz who said the French is the most boring of all openings? I always thought that was a funny quote from like way back over 100 years ago. I have to be a little careful here with my king. Let's do this, I guess. The H-pawn's hanging. I could maybe go H4, but I just want to solve my king issue first. I think it was Steinitz as well. Like it definitely sounds like something Steinitz would say. He's a very opinionated guy. Held very strong convictions in chess. He would frequently write about these convictions. Yeah, black could take d4, but that was kind of dangerous because bishop takes f5, knight takes f5, and then I'm on the bishop, so like maybe g4 at that point to try to kick it away. We'll look at that line afterwards. But that did seem kind of dangerous for black. Does the Berlin defense put you to sleep? You know, I feel like the Berlin only operates like in the GM and super GM stratosphere, like as a notoriously annoying weapon. I meet very few players below master level, even below IM level, honestly, who have the Berlin in their repertoire. Like who out there actually plays the Berlin watching this right now as your main defense against e4? There might be like one person, assuming like Geary's not watching this or something. Or maybe not even Geary, like Dominguez or someone. Nah, he's a Petrov guy. Hikaru. We'll say Hikaru. But Hikaru plays a lot of fighting stuff. So he gets a full pass. All right. Thank you, Tournament Dude, for the game. Kind of a messy opening. But you fell victim to this early queen b3, attacking d5 and also b7. Yeah, just hard to fight back from that. I mean, maybe it was like somewhat messy around here, but I still think this is far, far better for white. There is this issue with the d4 pawn. Like maybe you could take that at some point, but the engine's not buying it at all. It's giving one of these typically strong engine evaluations. I would never say this is +7 just looking at this. Like it didn't feel that way to me. But I also don't doubt the engine when it says that. Okay, so some of you guys were asking about knight takes d4, I think exactly here. So then I would take discovered attack on the knight. And if knight takes f5 to save the knight and guard the bishop, g4 and black's all out of whack here. They're going to lose a piece. Oh, yeah, I gained 1 rating point. You know, I did you a favor, Tournament Dude, because look at what rating I sent Tournament Dude down to. You know, when you hear John is like a nice guy or, you know, John's one of the nicest guys in chess, this is the sort of thing that doesn't get me a lot of recognition, but that's why I'm known for that. I just casually do you guys favors. I try to lift you up and put into practice what I preach. But I stay humble. All right, thanks for the game. You're 1999. You can party like it's 1999. It's a perfect rating. All right, Omni King, let's do this. I'll play e4 against you. Hello, Speed Chess on YouTube. Greetings. I'm doing well. What is your opinion on Eric Rosen Stanford Gambit? The Stanford Gambit. I think that's what Daniel Naroditsky did. Or maybe the Botez, not sisters, Alexander Botez. They both went to Stanford. Danya and Alexandra. But yeah, you meant Stafford Gambit. Omni King, Are you there? Maybe not. We're going to have to go to the next game. So, yeah, Stafford Gambit, I think, has been so popular that nowadays a lot of people expect it, especially in the, let's call it 1400 to 2200 range and even above. I think numerous antidotes have been found. I'm in favor of this line with D4. Are you there, Akash? Akash? There you are. Okay, great. Good luck. But undeniably, the Stafford Gambit's dangerous. Like, you got to know what you're doing against the Stafford Gambit, especially if you're going to accept it. There are lots of tricks, traps, twists. Yeah, thanks to my opponent for following these streams or my content. Really appreciate it. Okay, we'll take here. So I've had this structure many times. But yeah, about the Stafford Gambit, I've shown on stream before in these Lichess Plays streams what I prefer to do against it. Like take on you can take on C6 and get a good position, but I actually like to play this move D4 right after they play Knight C6. I think it's a good antidote. That gives White a good position. It's not as good as taking on C6 on a pure theoretical level, but if you take on C6 and fully accept the Gambit, you got to be ready to rumble because it can get sharp. I'm tempted to shove through the center here with D5. I think this might be the way to go because Akash is playing pretty solid here. And I think playing in the center is kind of the way to treat this position as a result. By the way, the first name Akash, is it like, I feel like it's Akash versus Akash. Like what letters you put the pronunciation on? But I'd be curious if there's some Indian viewers in the chat who can enlighten me. I think it's Akash. Okay, D4. I think I can play this move. It's a highly desirable move. Take, queen takes. I got to be worried about discoveries, but I don't see anything strong for White. And there's no bishop takes H7, so let's go bombs away. It is Akash. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gene Bands. Also, Asparov. Thank you for the clarification. All right. Now, I was thinking about swinging over here. There is F3, though. How about this one? Just queen D5, just threaten mate. Big test here for White, I think. Akash sees this. Akash. Now I can't. Now I'm going to be like second guessing myself. Oh, checkmate. That is game. Thanks for the game. Says, oh, well. Yeah, GG. Yeah, I've got to go. Nice. Yeah, GG. So you were playing fairly solid. This is kind of the issue with this knight f3 move, though. Knight c6. I think black already has a pretty reasonable position. If you take and black takes here, I think black's at least equal, maybe slightly better. As played, I think you're doing okay through here. Maybe put a rook on d1. Yeah, the pressure does get to you. Absolutely. Not just you. A lot of people. Let's check the eval right here. Wants to play rook a d1. Now, I think on this, you already have to be super careful, f3. And then I was going to play rook f to d8 in this position. Yep. Hitting the bishop. And there's all sorts of issues, right? Like knight takes a7. Not only could I take here, but there's probably even better moves. I guess this one you might be able to go here. Yeah, but even stuff like this. Multiple hanging pieces here at the end. So it feels a little bit loose. So maybe reevaluate that opening choice. I mean, this is a bit offbeat, but you'll face that again at some point. Thank you for the game. All right, Mouse Lover. Let's play in English. an English opening. By the way, what happened with the final game of the day in the Wesley versus Nihal matchup? And feel free to mute the stream if you are planning to watch the coverage later. We don't want to spoil anything. Okay, we'll go for the Fianchetto here. Should I go for this like E4, this Botvinnik English setup? It was a draw? Okay. So I think Wesley's leading by 2 games. Is that right? 2 wins for Wesley and 2 draws today? Nihal offers a draw. Guess what Wesley did? Yep. Don't think we have to take any wild guesses. Yeah, he's obviously going to have his back against the wall tomorrow. But he's young. He's a fighter. We'll see what he can do. Yeah, 3-1. Mm-hmm. And it's a best of 8, so Wesley just needs to get to 4.5. So it needs a 1.5 tomorrow. I, of course, am rooting for Wesley. He's the hometown guy here. He lives in my state. Really, really nice dude. Haven't seen him for a while. Actually, I haven't seen him for like 2 years. But he lives very close to where I live. And he's been a great member of the community here, too. He'll occasionally show up at like local tournaments and just lend his support. John, do you have any desire to commentate on those types of events? You know, it can be fun. I'm gonna go here now. I think I have an in-between move I can unleash. But commentary is pretty draining, and I think it depends like what type of event you're going for. Like the chess.com events, this format, they're really driving the hype. You know, the commentators are talking very fast. You know, they're really delivering pretty highly on the hype. I should have taken this one first. And I think certain people are better at that than others. I could maybe adjust to that, but I think I'd be more of like the classical tournament, take your time with the explanations type of commentator. And I like guest commentating every once in a while, like hopping on a stream for an hour or hour and a half or something, but I haven't had too much of a desire to, you know, commentate a whole tournament or something. Okay, Queen E5, decent move. Let's go here. I'm up a couple pieces in this position. It's so fast that I have to watch the games on mute to understand what's going on, or at least half of it. Yeah. I hear you. All right, let's go here. Just being a little cautious around these knights. Wesley is a stand-up guy. Yeah, he's great. Wesley's awesome. John, can you try a creepy crawly opening in honor of Michael Basman? Yeah, rest in peace to Michael Basman, a British international master known for, throughout his career, playing lots of flank openings like the Borg. G5 on move 1 is black. The Grob, stuff like H3, A3. He was all about the flank pawns, and he reached a very high level, becoming an IM. So I don't know exactly what the creepy crawly opening is. You'd have to tell me the move order. Ooh, this is a nice mate. Bishop G7. Thank you, Mouse Lover, for the game. So you ran into tactical issues kind of early on. So this is one of White's main plans in this setup. You play quite flexibly with the pawns. F4, and there's always this idea of F5 kind of lingering in the position. So I think right around here, you pretty much have to move the queen to make way for your bishop to retreat. It's not a pleasant decision. Like, let's say, I don't know, even queen E8 or something. Not a pleasant decision, but your bishop needs some breathing room. I guess for the moment, this isn't a threat, so maybe you could get away with it for like one move more, but if I play something like knight G3, that will become a threat. And bishop H6, that's probably where the eval really is going to go sky high for White. Oh, you're not doing too bad here at all, actually. Knight H5. But after bishop H6, I think F5 is a killer because it's a double attack. And if you had taken here, I was planning this in-between move. which is funny. The engine says I can actually go here too. And that's because on this, I guess there's queen check. But yeah, suffice it to say, you're having trouble with the double attack and the bishop being too cramped here on e6. Thanks for the game, though. Your setup in the opening was otherwise pretty reasonable. All right, who do we have up next? Rubbish at Chess. I was like trying to parse this username. Rubbish at Chess. 1886. Good luck to you. Okay, your bullet rating is a lot lower than your rapid rating, so I got to get you in time pressure. Your blitz is an unknown, though. Are you there, Rubbish? Maybe not. Okay, you can always re-challenge. What do I think about the Jobava London? Very fun opening to play. I really enjoy playing that line. I don't do it too often. You know, once in a blue moon, once every maybe, I don't know, 10th game or something, I play in D4. Used to be a little more frequent. But yeah, truly a lot of fun, that opening. But nowadays, I think the London itself, the conventional London and also the Jobava, has almost like mainline D4 status. So it's hard to surprise people with those lines anymore. Certainly the conventional London is like a mainline D4 opening at this point. And I think the Jobava London is not far behind. Let's go D5. I'm going to try to open the center. White's choosing to play a lot of pawn moves here, so we'll just open it up a little bit. Let's go knight C6. What was the creepy crawly opening? Smithy Q. Oh, shout out to Smithy Q. Good to see you in the chat. H4 and A4 on move 1 and 2. Is that right? Let's go E5. Bust this open. Continue trying to pry open the center. Take. I'll take with the knight and then around the bishop as well. Hope I finally get to test my mettle against John. I hope so too. I hope we get a game. Oh, Crazy Dino, you're trying to solicit a game for cash from me? Well, I can't do that. That would go entirely against the ethos of what we're about here. Although I appreciate the offer. This is chess for everyone and chess for free, which is a beautiful thing. But I appreciate the offer. I think I can take here and then take the rook. My knight is under fire, but this looks like it's working out. Knight d2, maybe? Yeah, let's go knight d2. Take. I'm okay with the queen straight. I'm up a pawn here. Play c6. Do not play rook f2. Do not play rook f2 and get skewered. I'm going to keep my bishop back a little bit. Could go for bishop e3, but I feel like that reveals my hand too soon. Maybe I can catch white napping on the dark squares at some point. Like knight d4 is going to run into similar problems, right? I feel like this knight's coming here, yeah. Okay, but now this maybe. Keep the bishop back. We're okay with undeveloping the bishop, so to speak, because I already have my rook out. Hello, Franklin. Thank you for tuning in from Kenya. Hey, appreciate it. All right, let's go f5. I've got e6 under control, so no worries there. Push white back a little bit. So the king is looking a little sketch, like maybe bishop e6 next. Could have done it on the previous move, too. Yeah, let's see where that king goes. I feel like white's going to be caught in the crossfire somehow. Like now here, annoying move, threatening g5. We got the assassin bishops going on. White would love to land knight e6, but that's not going to happen. What got you into chess, and why do you still play it? Great question, Already Cube. So I learned chess when I was 8 years old from a friend of mine at school. So just purely by happenstance. I didn't have like a family member teach me or anything. And, you know, it's hard to remember back, but I think the thing that really drew me to chess is I wanted to beat my friend, first of all. And it just seemed like a fair game, even though I was only 8. I felt like if I practiced it, I would get better and that I would be able to beat him and other players as well at some point. And I also felt like it had a lot of potential, like limitless potential, really, as a game. So I started checking out books from the library. I started challenging everyone I knew. I did eventually beat that friend after a couple months. And the rest is history, as they say. And I continue to play it because I still feel that way. It's the one game that's held my attention over the years. Thank you, Hillfears, by the way. Thank you, Busta, by the way, too. I see your message. Yeah, Hillfears, I think the inverted bathtub here did not work out well for you. Yeah, I think that's a few too many pawn moves, especially f3. Like c3, I can understand to block the bishop, but f3, I don't like it. You might be okay, but yeah, I think you got to be kind of careful around here. Thanks for the game. German Gangster, you're up, 2054. Why did you guys get into chess? Tell me about your experience. Okay. We're going to indulge in some self-loathing here and play the French defense. All right, let's play a winner. Is that friend at IM level? No. I haven't talked to him in years. He was just a childhood friend, and he never played tournaments or anything, to my knowledge. Oh, no, my bishop. Handel says, seemed like a skill everyone should have, and ended up enjoying the challenge. Oh, very nice. Oh, amazing, Caitlin. I just woke up wanting to play about 3 years ago, and now I'm a women's state champion. That's incredible. That's awesome to hear. You just woke up, and you're like, I want to get good at this game. Okay, let's play my favorite Scandi move now, Queen D5. Take advantage of the pin. Sam A. Reina got you into chess? Okay, yeah, shout out to him. Ooh, now I can take and go after this pawn. Watch for Queen A1, Knight E4, stuff like that. Maybe I should have thrown in Knight E4 first, actually. That would have been better, I think. Jan on YouTube says, enjoyed Netflix The Queen's Gambit. Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's a lot of you guys. Can I let you guys in on a secret? I have not finished Queen's Gambit. I stopped at 2 episodes. I don't really know why, but although I liked it, I wasn't super invested in it. And because at that point, by the time I decided to watch it, it had already been out for a month or two. I felt like everyone was talking about it, and it made me want to watch it less because it was getting hyped up so much. But I also will put the caveat on there that I'm not like a big show guy. Like I don't like binging shows. I'd much rather watch like a one-off movie or documentary or something. Also, I got my YouTube play button, I think over 2 years now ago now. I still haven't opened the box that it's in. It's still in the original packaging that they sent it to me. I don't know what it looks like. Okay, should I here and take this? I think I probably can. Yeah, we'll go after this pawn. Is that so you can sell it, JK? I don't know why. I don't want to open it yet. This does look a little scary, but I think I'm going to come out on top here. I'm confident. OB Arnold says, too familiar. Silent Nemesis says, my dad taught it to me when I was young. Oh, very nice. And did you come back to the game at some point? Iconic says, I love chess because I'm a programmer and I studied AI. Excellent. Yeah, we have a lot of technical people in the chess world, for sure. Okay, German Gangster really going into the tank here. You know, these pawns in a way actually hurt White's attack, right? Because it's somewhat blocked. Yeah, I definitely got to be careful about my king though, or my queen rather, and the king for that for that matter. I think I should go here. How long am I planning to stream? Well, we will stream to 30 past the hour. So we got another 45 minutes to go. Careful, careful. Okay, I can go here. We're going to meet G5 with F5. Extremely important. Close it down. We cannot have this file opening up. Can I get there first before White mates me? Let's attack this pawn. We got to slow White down a little bit. Un poquito. I've been in worse spots before and come out on top. Okay, now I might have to sack a piece because Rook A1 is coming. Unless I can go here. What about this move? Okay, this is going to get wild. Buckle up. Turbulence warning. This is when the captain comes on and says, please return to your seats. Oh, didn't see that move. That's a good move. That's a good move. I got to give my queen here. We got to give the queen. German Gangster is strong. I got to rely on the checks. I got some strong checks coming, though. Hold up. What's happening here? What's going on? Check. I think I have my opponent on the run. Okay, I can go Rook D1 whenever I want. I'm going to make use of that, actually. Oh. You went too soon. Got him. Ooh, that was close, though. Good game. Good game. I think you started panicking a little bit too soon. But you had my back firmly against the wall. I was fighting for my life there. Fighting for my life. I just barely managed to keep it closed. Like, I think G6, you probably, like, rushed that a little bit. Queen takes B7. I mean, you're for sure going to see this when you have a couple seconds to process it. But, yeah, queen takes B7. Tricky. Yeah, this queen takes A2 move, I really regret that. I should have played knight E4. Knight E4 was, I think, almost winning on the spot. Well, that might be an exaggeration. There's queen E3. But I think knight E4 is significantly better than what I did. Yeah. Point and a half difference, maybe. It's very much a game after queen takes A2. Because and I always had issues with my king. Probably got a little fancy here. Probably, yeah, I should trade queens. Queen A1, queen A5. I got a little casual in allowing the queens to stay on board. And German Gangster almost punished me. GG. Toughest game we've had in Lichess plays, maybe for the past month. Because I was completely lost here, obviously. All right, thanks for the game, German Gangster. You are a great player. 2100 bullet, 2000 blitz. Best wishes. Bring the heat next time again. All right, royal flush. Good luck to you. Hello. Good luck. All right, let's play knight f6 against d4. Maybe just something nice and classical here. Or hyper modern even. Did you see they're playing bishop f4? There was a game in the CGC with bishop f4. I think Nihal played it against Giri, I want to say. The climax here is better than Nihal versus So. Wow. That's strong praise. Let's give it a check and see how royal flush blocks. Now, depending upon which piece White puts there, I wonder if this is already bad for White. I think this is a near opening disaster for White, but maybe it might still be okay. You have to go knight f3 here. It's still playable, I think. Knight f3, because if I go g4, white has counterattacking moves like this. But it looks very scary, right? Because there's pressure coming in on d2. I think on knight f3, I'm actually going to go here and try to embarrass this bishop. Hello, John. How can I keep progressing if I feel like I'm getting on Plato? Well, maybe you can read some Socrates or some Aristotle instead. No, I think you meant Plateau. I would suggest increasing the time control and analyzing your games a little more. Maybe even having like a stronger player or a coach like look at the games for you and provide you some honest feedback. But yeah, increase the time control, play a little less. Go from there. Okay, in this position, I feel like I should take the dark square bishop first and foremost. No, no, that would be bad. Knight takes e4. Let's take here. Yeah, I think I should take the dark square bishop. I'm trying for more. I'm thinking about ways I can try to extract more from the position, but I'm not quite seeing it. So we'll just do this. Be okay with the space that I've gained. Go from there. Is it day at your house? Yes, it is day. That was just a funny question. Can confirm it is day. Similar to the Rogozin. Yeah, this has some Rogozin vibes a little bit. Well, I'd say this is more similar to like a Nimzo or a Bogo. What time? It is approaching 3 o'clock local time. 3 o'clock p.m. Perhaps 1500 if you prefer. Local time. Is it warm at your house? What's my thermostat at right now? It's at a cool, I'd say normal 69 Fahrenheit, which is 20 and a half Celsius. That's usually what it is for me, like during the day. Even at night, actually. Like that's just a very comfortable temperature for me. I don't mess with my thermostat much, actually. Now, when it gets colder, because winter is coming, then I'm going to have to crank it up at times. Check thermostat mid-game. What a flex. Absolute flex. That's right. All right, let's try to bulldoze our way through here against Royal Flush. Getting low on the clock for Royal. Now, Royal could still throw the c5 move at me. I think that might be their best chance soon. But when do you do it? That's the problem. Like, when do you actually execute that? I think white might have missed the window. Can I take here? Can I take that? I think I can. I got this and this. And I'm going to win the queen if white takes, right? Like I check here, king moves up, and then I check from here. So white's not going to mate me first. Take. Probably push this pawn now. I think would be reasonable. Could I throw in like knight c5 or something? Yeah, let's push the pawn. Go here. And now I think I can promote because I have this knight b8 move to defend. The only legal move in the position, but a good one. Making way for the king. All right, thanks for the game, Royal Flush. GG. So maybe if you had played c5 like right before you messed around with your bishop, like right here, this might be the chance to do it. Yeah, c5. Look at that. And it's roughly equal if you play it. So the opening looks scary, but I think you're actually okay here after knight f3. But bishop g5, I don't know about this move. As far as I'm aware, this is not considered to be theoretically challenging for black. I don't know if I played it right. But there is a reason why knight c3, knight f3, and g3 are the main moves here. Good game, though. Interesting one. Okay, peeved. Let's play e4 against peeved. Nice username. In Scotland, 20 Celsius is barbecue weather. Oh, interesting. Sounds about right. We could do that here, too. Another Scandi. I love it, peeved. Absolutely love it. Let's test your move order. Let's see how much you know. Okay, be careful. If you play Scandi, you got to be very careful in this position. Actually, bishop g4 early, I'm not a big fan of because of the bishop takes f7 ideas lurking. I must admit. So usually you don't want to commit that light square bishop so soon. Oh, thank you, Yuho, by the way. Hey, haven't seen you for a hot minute. Yuho subscribing to the Lichess channel with their Prime. Thank you very much for supporting Lichess. Hey, John, what is your favorite scene in the movie Home Alone? Wink face. Asks Edelweiss. And then Andy Hab says, oddly specific question. Wow, are we talking about the original Home Alone? The first one? That does have some great scenes, I gotta say. I mean, the classic is when like he's chilling at home by himself and like does the scream as that emote. Yeah, the Kevin McAllister scream as Yuho's emote in the chat. Someone has that. That's hilarious. Thank you, Chess Dory, for the raid, by the way. 32 viewers. Appreciate it. Hope you had a great stream. We are doing Lichess Plays right now. This is a weekly event where I play viewers for 2 hours and answer questions, shoot the breeze as we play. And anyone is welcome to challenge. My username is Fins if you want to send me a challenge. We're going for about another 30 minutes. Yeah, welcome Raiders. Oh, actually, I know what my favorite scene is from that movie. It's when the pizza guy comes. And Kevin is watching that movie, which is like apparently a fake movie, but it's called like Angels with Dirty Souls or something. And he's playing like he cranks up the volume and he has that like conversation with the pizza guy. That's a hilarious scene as well. I'm gonna give you to the count of 10. Oh, that's the second one? No way. I thought that was the first one. It's actually in both movies, right? Okay, I think here I might be able to play bishop f4. Now let's castle, actually. I'm going to castle. What do you mean the original Home Alone? There's only 2, right? Was there 2 or 3? This one's the queen. Yeah, I think the Angels with Dirty Souls is in both movies. The first 2. Are there 2 or 3? I can't remember now. Now you got me curious. Okay, Peeve, do not blunder your rook on a8. Do not move this rook. This is a phantom attack. Don't move it. Unless you're going this way. There's a third without Culkin. Oh, interesting. The scene with the hotel clerk. Yeah, right. I think they're watching the same movie in that one. All right. Thank you, Pete, for the game. So again, moving that light square bishop early, I think limits your flexibility to some degree. I would play knight f6 always here on move 4. Go ahead and do that first. Because, for example, after bishop c4, what I advocate, I have a free chessable course on this. I advocate playing a6 here for black and trying to go for this flank attack. b5 followed by c5. All right, thanks for the game. We are into our last half hour. Getting a lot of games in today. This is great. AK Drews, 5th game between us. Good luck. We had that really tough game against German Gangster, and since then, a couple other interesting games, but I feel like I used a lot of my good fortune against German Gangster. So someone take me down. Someone put me out of my misery. Just kidding. I'm very happy. You have a question? Fire away. How do you decide between bishop e3 and bishop f4? Oh, in that position in the last game, Silent Nemesis? Bishop f4 I didn't like because black was going to go e5. Although it was kind of a flashy move, I thought e5 would just kick me back. Okay, here I'm going to play knight e4 because I want to block white from going e4. Lichess is awesome. Chessable or Lichess? I mean, that's comparing apples to oranges. They offer different things. I mean, Lichess is phenomenal. Lichess is one of my favorite chess sites, period. But, of course, I co-founded Chessable, so Chessable is always going to have a soft spot in my heart. But it's for a completely different thing. Chessable is not a server. Lichess is a full-on server. Now let's take here. Now this knight, I think, is borderline trapped here. I think it can get out if it goes this way, but it's not pretty. And it might lose material anyways. What was the moment when you stopped gunning for GM? Who's to say I'm not still gunning for GM? No, but yeah, I have not played over the board in about 3 years at this point. So mostly just a motivation thing. This is very tempting, but I'm not actually sure if it's the best way to play. Queen g4, I guess I still go d5. I lose this with tempo. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about this, but I'm going to play it. I'm going to play this against AK Drews. Oh, thanks, Notorious Player. I might start up the GM quest again at some point. I have some ideas on how I could bring the viewers along for the ride. Because if I did it, I probably wouldn't do it just for my own like personal fulfillment, although that would be great. It would be a lifelong fulfillment of a lifelong dream. I'd like to include the viewers of my channel in some way. John will go for GM as soon as people stop calling him one of the strongest IMs around. Would I like to play Reykjavik? I would maybe play the Reykjavik Open. That's not a good tournament for making a norm, though. Okay, this is actually a bit of a conundrum here, this position. Because it's surprisingly hard to stop this, which white correctly didn't play on the previous move. I think I have to play like Queen E8 or something. Queen F6, maybe? Queen F6 is probably the move, because now I'm threatening a puzzle rush. Uh-huh. Takes here, I have take, and then take. So I think AK Drew should have taken with the rook on F1. Much more natural. Defend F2. Oh, we'd be cheering heavy? I appreciate it, yeah. That's what would be so cool about it. Yes, a puzzle storm. Indeed, a puzzle storm. Which one would you choose to be? Down a full piece or down the exchange? Usually being down the exchange is preferable to being down a full piece. Absolutely. Okay, maybe here. I am very dangerous waiting for my turn. Okay, noted. Noted, Iconic. Let's take here. All right. Yeah, this is still very much a game. Like, this is not easy to put AK Drews away in this position. Mainly because my knight is not participating. Need to get that in the game. Best chess moment. Ooh, I'm lucky to have had a lot of good moments, memorable moments in chess. I would say my favorite was winning uh, the U.S. National High School Championship in my first year when I was grade 9, so a freshman in high school. I won that tournament 7-0. Probably my best result ever. All right, let's go here. Facing a pair of knights. This is totally winning, but we got to be careful. Always against knights. You can never relax. Check. We close to mate. Almost mate. Let's go here. Not quite a mate. Can I mate with like knight h1, bishop g3? That would be cool. But AK Drews lose on time. All right, thanks for the game. Yeah, even after this whole bishop a6, d5 thing, I had mixed feelings about it. I think, although you're on the run, you did a good job. Yeah, look at this, actually. It does not like my decision to go for this. It says queen e8 or rook f5, but then I don't think this move makes that much sense because I've weakened not only e6, but also e4. Yeah, in hindsight, I don't think I should go for this. I think I should just develop and chill. Knight d7 or something. Knight d7. And here, rook f7 is much better. That's very interesting. Rook f7. Put yourself in a pin. But in light of what happened in the game, that makes perfect sense because after this and now knight e5, if I want to take that knight, this comes with check. Yeah, thanks to the game, AK Drews. And look at this. AK Drews really did me a favor by taking with the knight here. Had they taken with the rook, this queen f6 defense doesn't work anymore. Right? At least in terms of preventing queen takes d5. And the engine says this is a complete crushing position for white. Completely crushing. Hits the rook. I mean, this would still be a fight in an actual game because I am still up in exchange, but white's got the pawns. Compact position. So I believe the engine. So that made a huge difference because on knight takes f1, now I have this queen f6 move. And due to the puzzle storm combination, queen takes d5, queen takes f2, and then this, white can't take on d5. So they're obligated to trade queens, which is in my best interest. Even after this was still tricky because your knight is strong, and I was like really debating if I should take that knight because I didn't want your dark square bishop to come to life. Yeah, c5 is apparently a bad move. This was sharp. But we were both under a minute. Okay, thanks for the game, Drews. Who do we have next? President. I remember you. Good luck. That is a Puzzle Storm classic, indeed. Let's play c5. Should I play the Clarendon court defense? I played this against Quarter Horse last week. Shout out to Quarter Horse, by the way. Let's see if President can improve on Quarter Horse's play. Okay, e4. Yeah, already a good idea. Already a good idea. I feel like President might know their theory. I'm kind of remembering that about them. So I'm already nervous. Hello, Abdullah. Hey, John, not streaming on Twitch anymore. Well, I'm on Twitch right now. And YouTube. As we speak. So you're watching on YouTube, but we're also on Twitch. Feel free to check it out. Twitch.tv/lichess.org. The classic question I always get too, because I stream both on Lichess and chess.com. Someone will see me on one of those sites, and especially if they don't stop by the channel once in a blue moon, they'll be like, hey, John, why don't you stream on insert X site, either chess.com or Lichess anymore? And I'll be like, I was streaming on there earlier today or yesterday. Okay, let's play e3. I got to be careful here once again. I know I've said it multiple times, but this square's weak. President knew how to treat this opening. e4 opening the position, absolutely correct approach. I think I'm going to go g5 here. That's so weakening, though. No, I think I got to do it. I don't want this knight lingering on the e6 square. I think we must play this. Okay, and backs off with the knight. I'll go here. I will go here. Our chess and Lichess competitors, you mean chess.com and Lichess? I'm not the person to ask, but I mean, my impression is Lichess wouldn't consider chess.com to be a competitor. Lichess is about doing its own thing and trying to innovate, trying to create features and things that are useful to all chess players and have it non-paywalled. Obviously, chess.com is a great company. It's a for-profit company. And they have, fundamentally different missions, although they both align in trying to promote the game. I will say that. But in terms of competition, so to speak, I think probably mostly you'd have to ask chess.com about that because I can't speak for anyone at Lichess in an official capacity, but I don't think they view chess.com as a competitor per se because Lichess is not monetized. Okay, my position's improving here a little bit, but is my queen in any trouble? I don't think so. I think I can go knight b6 here. Knight b3 here. And then knight c4 coming into the picture. Looks pretty nice. Yeah, this is a great position now. Now I think I'm winning. Dutch Benoni. What is this opening called? Yeah, I played the so-called Clarendon court defense. C5 followed by F5. It is like a Dutch Benoni sort of looking position. Absolutely. All right. Now let's just get the move order right. I can take here first if I want. That should be winning. Knight, bishop d2, knight takes d2, knight takes d5, maybe. I think this might be cleaner, actually. Although there is, interesting, there is the in-between move, rook a4 against that. I have a feeling even that would probably be good for me, but I don't know that that's worth risking, so let's play knight takes d5. If bishop d2, I can take here if I want. Now if rook a4, I can play bishop takes c3 check and remove the defender. Oh, nice. Saf Raider, you got the Lichess horsey emote. Love it. Yeah. Because here, knight takes d5 looks a little less clear, although I think knight takes b3, knight takes b4, knight takes c1. There's knight back to d5, bishop takes b2. I don't really want to have to calculate all that, so probably just take here. Because it's a clean win. I'm going to be up so much material. I don't think it's worth stressing out over the other line. Especially when white has 15 seconds or whatever. Take this. Queen takes, we can go there. And this one here. Check. All right. Thank you, President, for the game. So e4, I think, is one of the top moves in this position. Gambit type move. You can do the same thing against the Jinji Indian as well. Thank you, generic nickname, by the way, for the Prime. Subbing to the Lichess channel. Love it. So let's see if you had anything substantial here. I thought maybe you'd go through g5 instead to eye up this pawn, also eye up the e6 square. Interesting. Doesn't like my e3 move. It does like g5, but it says my position's pretty bad here. So this opening, this whole, what does Lichess call it? Old Benoni Mujana formation. Mujana formation. Yeah, so it does say this was my best attempt in a bad position, and knight e6 is what it wants you to do. That was the move I was expecting, knight e6. Making part with the light square bishop. I think I was planning on doing this and then rook g8. to defend the pawn. But this is evidently terrible. Tafasca says terrible opening. It's fun, though. It's fun. Oh, thank you, generic nickname. Yeah, I see your message. I had to sub after realizing that you were streaming on Twitch as well. Oh, so you asking that question actually gained Lichess a sub. I love it. I think the tide started to turn somewhere around here. This is where I started liking my position more. Maybe knight c1 is like the real culprit, because although my queen is temporarily a little awkward looking, I don't think you have time for this whole rook a4 thing. Yeah, this is completely crushing. And apparently I can play this move. Knight takes d5. Ah, queen e4. Well, that to me just looked like a trade or something, but I guess the engine says, nah, you're completely winning here. Yeah, that checks out. Not surprising that there's multiple wins here. Thank you, Bad Moves, for the Prime as well. Nice. We're getting some subs on the Lichess channel today. All that goes to support Lichess, so appreciated. All right, thanks again. We still got some time here, so let's try to get maybe like 3 more games. Well, look at Nature. See, Nature, I don't know why, but the algorithm seems to gravitate towards Nature. I don't think there's any shenanigans going on. Nature's a good dude. I don't think they would partake in any hacking of the algorithm. But they are really good at getting selected. I do have to say that. So twice in one stream. And I don't think it's the first time. Is this the creepy crawly opening? A3, H3? There was no H4, A4. I thought we established it was H4, A4. I should have done the same thing, actually. I should have copied white for a little bit. All right, let's try to play this as a gambit to make up for the fact that I didn't copy Nature with the opening moves. They're really taking the pawn concept to the extreme. Not half bad, this position. I think it's fine. And play for fun with the Prime as well. Thank you so much. Cheers. So technically not the creepy crawly. Okay, got it. John, do you ever do puzzles or play on your phone? You know, I might be in the minority here, but I almost never play on my phone or do anything chess related on my phone, other than like maybe watching some games like in a top level tournament or something. This is a good move, by the way. I think I'm worse in this position. Seriously. How many of you guys play on your phone? I wish we could run a poll right now because I'd be curious. Because I got to imagine playing on your phone hinders your performance, playing on such a small screen. But there are some people who swear by it. There are some people who have absolutely no issues with it, it seems. I got to gambit a pawn here. Nature, you might be discovering the way to beat me, especially in Lichess plays. Like play H3, A3. This is a far better position than what you had in our other game. Let's go here. Okay, we got a fair amount of people who play on their phone. I did just see that Lichess hired a, I think a mobile app developer. Is that right? There's an announcement about it. You can read it on the Lichess blog, which is under, is it Learn? Community, maybe? Yeah, community. All right, I'm going to gambit this pawn on c7 as well. They will rebuild the app from scratch. Wow, that sounds ambitious. That's interesting. Rebuilding the Lichess app from scratch. Is it just because they're not satisfied with the interface on the mobile app? What major improvements will they be after? I actually didn't read that blog post in depth, but I saw that it was posted. Let's go. Oh no, that runs into bishop takes c6. Um, hmm. Check here, bishop g2. Play rook d5 at that point. Kind of fancy. Maybe interesting though. Now check. White doesn't even have to move the bishop. Tricky business here, folks. And if I go rook here or here, there's bishop f5. Tricky business. All right, let's give the check first of all. I think that's a free check I can give because I can always repeat if I need to. Silent Nemesis says the old app was not a priority, and now mobile app development has changed a lot. Ooh, goes there. Okay, let me think. Now, does this change things? I can go here. No, it still doesn't change much. Okay, let's give a check here. Completely different framework. Okay, got it, got it. Okay, now I think I can play this move at long last, because now bishop f5 isn't hitting my queen. Let's try not to flag here, though. That would be bad. It's going to get complicated. It already is. I can always castle if needed, but I would prefer not to. I'd prefer to continue my attack. Ooh, that's a cold-blooded move. I kind of like that move, Nature. Check there. I'm going to castle because I'm not seeing a win with rook g5. Maybe there was one, but I wasn't seeing it. Let's give it a check. Now it's just a time scramble. Just an out-and-out time scramble. Nature was doing really well this game. I should be able to convert this, but it's still, even still, a little bit tricky. I think safe to say I was lost there. Let's see. Lost to h3, a3. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. This position felt bad. Queen c2. Huh. I guess I misevaluated this one. Didn't it feel like white had the momentum here? The engine's kind of unmoved. Like, it doesn't say it's bad for black. Because I lost the e4 pawn. That was not part of the original plan. But apparently black has compensation. But one of those situations, it didn't feel that way in the game. I can tell you that. Here it wants me to castle. Interesting. Give the rook on d8. Maybe white can't even take it. Complicated. Well, thanks for the game, Nature. Really, really interesting. He creepy crawled all over you. I know, right? Did I see Weird Al Yankovic story? No, I have not. All right, thanks for the game. I think we're going to make this next game the final game of the session. That should bring us like right to the middle part of the hour. You guys know what time it is. We're clicking on the blindfold option. I'm going to be playing this game without side of the board, no matter who I play. It's a tradition for the final game of Lichess Plays that I do. Oh, you watched a Ginger GM video about the creepy crawly, and that's why you played it? Nice. Well, you acquitted yourself well. All right, so don't panic if you don't see the pieces, because that is intended. You can follow me, though, if you want. Oh, Copious Blunders. Copious Blunders is tough. Good luck to Copious. We've never actually played. Okay, this is going to be very difficult. Because if I get in any sort of time pressure, I'm cooked. Okay, he's playing Semislav. Let's play something a little offbeat. I just need to like make moves relatively quickly. Just have to play quickly. Have to play quack. Fast and quick. Have to play in quack style. Okay. Yeah, this is already tricky. Let's go here. Bishop f3. There's some slight weaknesses in Copious's position, so I think I should be all right. 22:48. So you guys can follow me if you want. Go follow Finn's. You can check out the game. Okay, takes there. I feel like taking with a pawn might be decent. But I'm going to take with the knight just for simplicity. Queen d5. Okay. Fine, fine. Let's go knight c6. I think I see the position just fine. Bishop d6. Take here now. I would expect a queen trade, I suppose. So I'm going to pre-move that. Okay. Let's take the knight. I'm going to capture. We're going to play an endgame, folks. b4. We got a symmetric formation, E and F pawns. But my knight on c6 is pretty handy. I think that should cause black some problems. It's on a really nice outpost. Yeah, black already has tactical issues here, I think. Wait a second. Oh, because that's defended by the pawn. Okay, got it. Got it, got it. All right, let's go here. I thought that bishop was hanging for a second, but black did take with the F pawn. I think I'm squeezing black, though. Black is going to have issues with this bishop. Yep. Okay, let's just play b5. I'm up on the clock. That's a good sign. And the position's pretty stable. There's not like really any tactics going on. So that is a huge benefit. Rook c2. He's going to try to come around to c5, which is understandable. Let's bring this in. I think that was a pretty good plan for black because there's not a whole lot else to do. But I should be able to squeeze from here. Let's go here now. I'm going to double on the 7th rank. Okay. Okay, now I feel like knight e5 has to be like borderline winning. Rook there, knight e5. And how do you defend this? You can go rook g7, I guess. Rook g7. Let's go here. Give a check. King e7. Okay, can I step here? I think so. Now black's got a lot of stuff hanging, especially the rook. Yeah, rook d8. That rook is still on g7, right? Okay, let's take this one. Then we'll go here. Let's go here. Hide here. Bishop all the way back. Okay. Let's come here. Go back here. Threatening mate. Don't think black can do anything about that, right? There we go. Okay. Thank you, Copious Blunders, for the game. I was torturing you there in the middle game. That's checkmate on the board. Well, one move away. Yeah, I think Perhaps the whole c5 thing was a little mistimed. Like maybe d takes c4. D takes c4 might have been something that gave me a little bit of an edge to work with in that position, because knight takes is pretty natural, and in this resulting position, you just had some weaknesses. Hey, I got a 92%. I got to brag about that. 92% blindfold. We'll take it. But yeah, Copius played pretty solid. It's just a very difficult position. I think this is just a strategically winning position. You were looking at rook off c8. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, wait, I just have my talons in you at this point. This is far gone. Still a little bit tricky, though. You came up with some good defenses like this. There's some ways I could have gone wrong, like, if take, this is a little bit less clear because the knight is trapped. Wasn't sure here. I thought maybe I had something better, but I couldn't figure it out. So I just chose to pivot. I knew that my king could always hide here. Pawns on dark squares, tough for black. These kinds of positions are great for blindfold. Absolutely, yeah. Relatively few tactics to have to worry about. Absolutely. Thematic thinking, indeed. In blindfold, you don't want the ultra sharp, irrational, crazy positions. You want these kind of more static positions. Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for the kind words. And thanks everyone for tuning into Lichess Plays today. We're going to wrap it up here. Bunch of challenges. We had 90 plus challenges early on in the stream, and still quite a few here. And always a pleasure. I look forward to this every week. Make sure you use all the features on Lichess. Consider supporting. It's not mandatory, but you can get the wings next to your name. I think it's under the donate. Yeah, if you go and check out your donate page there, you can read about the new features and stuff, the blog. This is funny. It's the first thing I see. Becoming unkillable. Oh, I thought that said unlikable. I was like, what is this going to be about? What is this, a troll post? Who made this? GM Craze writing on the stupidest Scandinavian. And here's the Lichess blog. If you want to, we're talking about the mobile app development. You can read this if you want. I'm going to read it myself, actually. Thank you, SJS Fave, for the subscription to the Lichess channel. 19 months. Appreciate it. All right, thanks again, everyone. Always a pleasure. Thanks for all the challenges and the support. You all have a great week, and I'll see you guys next week. Someone's got to take me down. It's been too long. All right, and we're going to raid someone more than likely. See you guys later. Bye.